My name is Nicola Paolucci, and today it's time for me to reveal a secret that I've been keeping for a bit of time. And it is related to a video and a demo I showed you guys a few months ago, where I hacked Bitbucket and I embedded information from the DockerHub inside Bitbucket. At the time, I told you it was a hack and that I only did it in 24 hours, which is true. What I didn't tell you at that time is that the hack used a new platform, a new plugin architecture that we're announcing this week at AtlasCamp. So instead of me working with a lone developer in the Bitbucket team to put this hack together, actually I was using the work of the entire team that's been busy for the past year to make sure that Bitbucket becomes an incredibly powerful, extensible platform for developers to work on. So without further ado, I want to replay that video for you. Now that you have the insight that whatever you see me doing, you'll be able to do as well, embracing this new Atlassian Connect API. So hope you find that interesting, and with this new insight, you get excited by the potential of this new platform open to developers. And let me know what you think about it. And now I'll leave it to you to the video. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out again. At Atlassian, we have a big culture of innovation and experimentation. And so every quarter, the company stops for 24 hours and anybody can pick their own project, they scratch their own itch, form groups, and sprint and spike new ideas to solve our own problems. It can be things completely off the wall, it can be tiny improvements, and it can be something very innovating, very fun. Several of very important features that have been included in our products came out of this sort of sprints of innovation. So it's always a very exciting time for me. Some time ago I was in San Francisco and I paired up with a couple of colleagues, and this is what I wanted to work on. So as you guys know or not know, I have been very excited about Docker. I've been talking about Docker a lot, and there's one thing that I thought would be easy to do, and so I got to work. So my idea was the Docker registry collects a lot of software packages already, images ready-made, ready to be used, and we already have a quite cool integration with the Docker registry, in the sense that you can set up the Docker registry to rebuild your image anytime you push something to Bitbucket. So the integration from Bitbucket to the Docker registry is already in place. What I thought about was, wouldn't it be nice if we could show the state of the images and also the interaction with the Docker community in Bitbucket? That seems something relatively easy to do, and also a piece of useful integration. And so I brainstormed a little bit how to do it, and what I realized that I needed was, I thought I needed a way to build a very simple static website only based on HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Recently I got very excited about React.js, and so I wanted to use that bit of technology. So I had to host the static website somewhere. I thought I'd use Nginx, and with the only concern that to avoid the cross-origin resource sharing problems, I needed to make sure that my request to the DockerHub would be proxied. So I had to set up Nginx to do that. And obviously I wanted to deploy the application using Docker, deploy this hack into a container, and also update it, making sure that I could update it using containers too. And so that's what I did. That's what we did. So before I go on, and maybe you guys are not familiar with some of the technologies I mentioned, let me give you a very brief high-level description of what I used. So the first bit of framework that I use is React. React is a JavaScript framework developed inside Facebook, now open source, that has a very cool, unique characteristics, and especially the way that components are connected together. It reduces the boilerplate and makes the reasoning about the application much easier. And they explain that it is like the V in an MVC framework. But if you have been following a little bit the developments in this area, when Facebook guys have come up with actually a new paradigm of this for designing user interfaces and web applications that they call Flux. And what Flux is basically a way to transport events through an application which is unidirectional, and by constraining this direction on how messages are passed through the application, reasoning about the application becomes very easy. Getting on board people becomes very easy. And so for me, it's been quite a pleasure to start studying this framework and getting it to work with it. So that's one bit of technology that I've used. The second one is obviously the Docker setup for it. As I told you, I only needed a set of static files to deploy somewhere on a web server. So if you want to have a look at my Dockerfile, you'll see that it's very, very simple. I just pull the Nginx image, the official Nginx image, copy the certificates because I had to use HTTPS because Bitbucket required everything to be HTTPS. And I need to add my own configuration for the proxy setup, which I'll show you just afterwards. And then I had to just add the source code, the source files, the JavaScript files, the HTML files that I wanted the Nginx to serve. And to solve the CORS problems, I just needed to make sure that I could query the DockerHub APIs through a proxy, so that JavaScript would think that it would actually call the local host. And this is just the relevant part of my Nginx configuration file. And with all this set up, I'm ready to go. And I know what you guys are thinking. You get to work already. Come on, show me what you did. And I have another one for you. It says, like, do you guys recognize this one? It says, where is my demo, Lebowski? And so I'm praying to the demo gods. Hopefully now I can show you what I came up. Let's start from the end. So go to Bitbucket and refresh. So I show you a page that contains a Docker file and has the same name on the DockerHub. And what you just saw appearing is this small static website that I've created that is now plugged into the project overview page of Bitbucket. Now you might say, is this live on Bitbucket? Yes, it is. So what I did, I worked with some of the Bitbucket guys and we agreed to open a small iframe window in there where I could plug my code. So it is live right now, but it is obviously only turned on for a group of users internal to Bitbucket, and we'll see what's going to happen of this feature in the future. But for now, it's just a hack. So I showed you that it's actually working, but what I wanted to do is actually go one step forward and show you that I can do a live update of this using Docker containers. So I'll switch to the command line and we'll go through the process together. So if I do Docker images, you'll see that I have built an image called Durden BitHub. I call this very creatively BitHub. And what I wanted to do is do a live code change, rebuild my local image, push the image, and then redeploy it using Fig. So if I go to source, and I know that there's a component that I need to change, which is like the Docker images one, and I want to just change some text so that I can show you that we do a live deployment. So we do, and I go, let's do it like this, hello gods, and I save it. Now what I can do is just rebuild my local image. Let me show you what the build command contains. So the build command is very simple. It just regenerates the entire JavaScript of the application, stores it in a file name called bundle.js, and then I rebuilt the application. So using the Dockerfile. The Dockerfile is very simple. It just copies the content of the source folder, add my certificates, and the proxy is set up for Nginx. So in this case, rebuilding the image, only the last step should happen. So I rebuild the image now, and what will happen? A new image will be created, tagged with the latest tag, and the build script also pushes this new image to the index. Right now, the GitHub one is a private image, and after that's done, we'll update it on the live server. There's many ways, obviously, to handle this. I just hacked together a script that allows me to redeploy on my small Docker box an image and get it up and running. And so I'm pushing a new version of the image, and after that's done, we'll update it on the live server and see what happens. So give it a few more minutes, give it a few more seconds, hopefully. And because right now I am in Sydney, and the server that I started up is in Amsterdam, see there is a slight delay on this. It should actually, generally it is quite fast. So we let it go. And then we'll see if the demagogues have been kind to me. All right, the push is still happening. All right, hopefully soon. I might cut this part of the video. Buffering to disk. All right, so now it's actually pushing the updates, pushing the tag. All right, so now on the Docker index, we have a new version of image of my application. And if I want to redeploy it, what I cooked up together is I have a box running with Docker running. I created a very simple fig file, which is, I can show it to you. It's very simple. It just says, I want to run the Durden GitHub application and open two ports, the port 80 and the port 443. And my deployment script is incredibly simple. And what it does is it just pulls the latest web image, it stops the previous one, and restart the containers in demo mode, so that they stay up in the background. So let's do it, see what happens. So this is now commands being run remotely on this SSH box that I have access to, and the new image is being pulled, the new update to the application is being pulled, and the application is restarted. And if everything goes well, by refreshing the page, we should have now a live deployment and production on Bitbucket for your pleasure to view. So let me see if this worked. And I'm refreshing the page, crossing my fingers, and voila! So we have redeployed live on Bitbucket a containerized static site, and that actually gets the information from the DockerHub into Bitbucket. I was very pleased with the result of this. Obviously, it's a tiny hack, but I hope you guys found this useful. And if you have feedback or you liked it, tweet at me at Durden, and I'd be happy to know what you guys think about it. Thank you very much for listening, and see you the next time. Bye.